Good morning, everybody. I know it's such a shock to see me up before noon. What can I say? My guest is one of the most amazing people, and he's so amazing that he could get me up before noon. But of course, as always, before we introduce this amazing guy, we got to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. So a big shout out to the Gym City Comic Con, a premier comic book convention that comes to you every March or April. Hopefully by 2021, we can get back and start going back to shows. To the Champion City Comic Con, which is coming to you online on November 1st on their Facebook channel and the AGP YouTube channel, because I can't stream it here on Twitch because of my affiliate status. But yours truly is hosting this convention, so it's going to be fun. Also to the UVN, the Underground Video Network, who's been taking care of covering things from derbies to comic books and everything else within the tri-state area of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. And last but not least, Haza Productions, a very great, wonderful independent comic that have comics for all ages and for adults only. And you can also check out their live sketch off, which is every Thursday night and Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can watch it at The Art of Rodney Fike on Twitch. You can watch it under Haza Production on Facebook and YouTube. They do a 30-minute sketch off with friend Sean Forney Illustration, where right now they're doing all Halloween themes. Well, again, let's get to the reason why everybody's going to be watching this episode. My friend, Ted Sikora.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Ted. How's it going? By the way, it may
well.
not look like this because we're sitting down, but this guy is like Godzilla height, just so everybody knows. You're like the tallest person. I'll never forget meeting you, and I'm like, hi? What's it like up there? I don't know.
Well, what can I say? I mean, I'm 6 foot. I'm not like LeBron James or something here.
Okay, and I'm 5'2.5". So
all right.
yeah.
I will just leave this alone.
But it's just so funny because I was actually talking to another friend that we have in common, Richard Catterjohn from UVN, and he was like, "He's so tall." I was like, "I know, right?"
I didn't know I had this reputation.
when you're little, yeah.
Oh.
It's like, hey, how's everybody going? But oh my gosh, we haven't talked since your first comic came out, and you were. Let me say this straight off the bat. Your passion and your love for what you do is amazing. And the way how you treat people like me who are podcasters, you're just like, okay, so here's the copy of my comic, here's the DVD, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this. And you're just like, I haven't even interviewed you yet. Cool.
Take my stuff, look at it, and then we can, yeah. Well, it makes for probably a better interview. I hope you like it too.
Oh, yeah. I actually had all of my friends come over. It Apama, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I had all my friends come over. We actually watched your movie that you did, which was really cool. And then everybody borrowed the comic that you gave me.
Aww.
And that was back in Akron, like what, almost 3 years ago?
It's probably true. Yeah. Maybe as much as 4 or 5 years ago.
I can't remember since then. I've drank since then.
Well, was it the trade collection of Apama or was it a single issue?
Oh, it was the full trade.
Okay. Yeah, that goes back a ways. I think we did our first one back in 14 maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Convention times start blurring after a while when you're doing like 20 to 30 in a year.
And now it's like a dream from the past. Fond but forgotten. Sad.
They're not forgotten.
No, it is not forgotten. Yes.
Everybody's still wanting, my conventions. Yeah, but hey, look at the amazing stuff that a lot of people have been able to do. Doing their own web series. They're actually getting a better following. So even when conventions come back, I still see a lot of creators still doing this and doing more podcasts than what they did before. A lot of creators just really sat there and was like, okay, I'll just do these conventions. Now they're realizing the true power of social media and what it can really mean for their creations that they have.
Yeah, it's been it's kind of been a reflective time, where we're just trying to figure out what makes sense and how you can kind of, well, the big challenge for us, our books are distributed through Diamond to the stores, but I always treated that like Diamond pays for part of our print run, and the rest we make up at the shows. And without the shows, even though we have 4 issues done, ready to come out, I just thought we're going to lose money on every issue, and what's the point of that? So we've just been waiting for the cons to come back, and we waited and waited, and they're not coming back, not anytime soon. So, which is why we turned to Kickstarter for Punchline and the Vaude-Villains, our new thing. In the past, we had done Kickstarters for our collected trades. This is the first time we're actually launching a series through it.
So you sent me a PDF, and I love how reading your Kickstarter, everything that now that I know of yours is all coming full circle. I started with Apama, and then there's this thing with the tap dance killer. By the way, issue 2, the cover where she's trying to push Punchline out of the way, saying this is her cover, is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Appreciate that.
I loved it. I laughed and I was like, I have to finish reading this eventually, but I really like this.
Oh, thank you.
And then I was reading up on the Kickstarter, and it's like, oh, and Apama's coming and he's taking on Punchline. And I'm just like, okay, Mr. Extended Universe in the comic book realm.
There we go. Well, and the thing about Punchline, and I could show a picture of him here. So actually, that's the cover you were talking.
Wait, wrong one.
All right. Issue 2, where he made his debut. And I had wanted to make Punchline. I got one other cover here I can show. So this was the variant on that. So he got his own cover even. So this is the second most prolific character in this series. And it came out in April of 2018. So, that might be of relevance to people who think that name Punchline sounds familiar these days. I wanted to make Punchline as a villain for Apama. That was the whole point of creating this. I wanted a heavyweight boxer who becomes a bruiser, superpowered badass clown named Punchline. And I just, I thought that was a nice, simple, clean idea. But, being in an independent field, it takes us a long time to get our books out, so we're still developing this Apama arc, with Regina, the main nemesis in our Apama series. And in fact, I'll just kind of show some visual aids as we're going here in case people aren't familiar with these. But so here's Apama. This was issue 1 of Apama. And it was issue 5. We introduced the nemesis of that series, Regina, the high priestess of Helltown, which is sort of a Cleveland sort of legend kind of thing.
Yeah, and I do love the fact that your comics take place in Cleveland, where you're at.
That's Regina. Oops, there we go. And so anyway, we're working on this whole arc with her, and you come up with ideas over the years for other characters. So Tap Dance Killer was introduced in Apama's 10 and 11. And the idea here was that Apama was getting so burned out on getting his ass kicked every issue, that he meets this flirty gal who says, hey, you ought to come audition for our musical. And he's like, well, sure. It'd probably be better than getting my butt kicked. So he joins, and there's all this supernatural stuff that happens around the theater. This one woman, Nikki St. Clair, gets locked into the role of the Tap Dance Killer in the play. Whoops, try to avoid that glare. And she becomes this character for real. And they start trying to wipe out the mafia. So,
which, let me just say straight up, I love her.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She's amazing.
So what happened is people were just seeing the image, like the one I have here behind me. Not necessarily that one, but images of Tap Dance Killer at New York Comic Con. And that's where it dawned on me, because of the reaction. I mean, everyone was just, not everyone, but a large percentage of people would come by the booth and be like, who's that? What's this? And I just like, all right, I'll sort of listen to read the tea leaves here. There's something a little special about this character. Images of her were being shared and liked online by the thousands. And, as much as we've tried to push Apama, that organic sort of grassroots sharing just wasn't happening at that level. So launched her into her own series. And this is a copy of Tap Dance Killer number 1. There it is. But that's all.
And it's signed.
That was signed, yes. And that cover is sold out. This is the variant, and we have, this one I still have available in smaller quantities. So Tap Dance Killer got a really nice response. It won some awards, and I thought it was the perfect place to introduce this Punchline character because of these Vaude-Villains. I mean, and the science of the Fletcher character. It really made sense that he would know how to create this enhanced human, and so that's where Punchline came from. So it's a long story, and then in the Tap Dance Killer series, we have the Vaude-Villains. It's this sort of troupe. And I'll show one other cover here. This is like a comic book PowerPoint.
Get off the comics. Thank you. Oi.
Oh, where is it? Here. So this was an homage to the Kiss Destroyer album cover with the main villains of the.
Yes.
We got that's Fletcher, Sir Terror, Tap Dance Killer, and Punchline from left to right. So
see, I read because I knew the character.
Thank you very much.
Okay, first off, so I'm reading the first episode, where spoiler, she gets out of something. And then it goes a little bit to her backstory about how she's performing this. She's this performer, and this lady's like, look, you guys got to be able to do this. But looking at their costumes and stuff, my mind went instantly into things like Repo the Genetic Opera and things like that. And I'm just like, I just kind of want to see that comic now.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I don't know if we spoke of this last time. Before I ever got into film or comics, I wrote a musical, and it was this rock opera. My brother and I had a rock band. It was called Nothing Like Vaudeville, and we had this. So we were playing clubs around Cleveland, but then there was this opportunity to do a haunted festival, and during the Halloween season. They wanted a 15-minute show, and I thought, I'll take a verse chorus of like 5 of our songs, and I'll write a script in between, because it was a concept album to begin with. It's about a runaway freak in the 1920s that comes across all these strange Vaude-Villains, and Tap Dance Killer was one of them. There was a Tap Dance Killer song. And the little weird musical that we wrote with no theater experience went over better than the band really ever did. And it was it prompted us to take the whole project and turn it into a 2-act musical. And that was in 1994, actually. We rented out the Fantasy Theater in Cleveland and put it on for 2 months. And we did a cast album that got international distribution by Original Cast Records. So it really there's a lot behind all of these characters. I've been thinking about them for over 25 years.
Okay, do you all smell that? Do you smell it? I smell Ted making the vaudeville musical, since he's a filmmaker, kind of like the essence of the Devil's Carnival. I can smell it. I can see it. I want it.
Yeah, I would love to turn it into it. So that was the whole point then. So when I told you about Ilya, our Apama character, joining a theater troupe, they were putting on Nothing Like Vaudeville. So we used the actual musical as source material. So as people are reading this, you're getting the lyrics and all of this, and it's, I think a lot of people just read it and they don't know how much backstory there really is to the whole thing. But I would love to do Nothing Like Vaudeville as an independent film. But we're actually actively working on developing this whole world as like a TV series. So that's one of the bigger goals of the whole project.
Hey, Netflix!
Yes.
Bing! Please.
Amazon Prime, whoever. Yeah.
I want Netflix. I have that.
All right. If we get on Amazon Prime, I will buy you Amazon Prime. How's that?
Okay, cool. Then I can subscribe to somebody on Twitch because it's free if you have Amazon Prime.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, of course, through the thing, you have Apama. Tap Dance Killer gets introduced into Apama. Then you have Punchline, who's introduced with Tap Dance. And, of course, that brings us currently to your Kickstarter.
Yeah. Oh, the Kickstarter, yes. Well, so Yeah, Punchline wasn't really he wasn't really challenged in Tap Dance Killer 1 through 5. You know, they were taking on this mob organization, and the mob did some devious things, but you know, when it got down to hand battle with anybody, you know, it was over pretty quick.
His ratings were through the roof. Ha! See what I did there?
Yes.
Took it from your own comment, baby.
Right on. So now I'm going to do this blast out fight between Apama and Punchline, but within the series of Punchline and the Vaude-Villains. So I'm super excited about that. And the art is being done by the same artist from Tap Dance Killer, Donnie Hadiwijawa. And he's, he's got a new method. What's that?
Thank you so much for saying that last name, because
it took a lot of practice. Yeah. But yeah, I'm thrilled to really have this, totally badass, just bruiser throwdown between these two characters. And that's something we've really not had a lot of in Apama, because so many of his villains are female and he's always self-conscious about how to fight a woman, and it's sort of one of the things I really enjoy about strong female villains too, is there's just that whole dynamic and that tension that really plays up a lot between Apama and both Tap Dance Killer and Regina. Like, it's so much more interesting, I think, than just two guys. But now that we got two guys, we're gonna wallow in it for a while.
Oh yeah, I can see these two totally punching it out, and I think that'll be really cool. But dude, I'm in love with TBK.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, dude, she's just amazing. And I know people will try to compare her to Harley Quinn because, the whole clown thing, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, there's some similarities, but she's a completely different character. And like, you really want to know so much about her. I mean, even like her friends and her family are like, oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here. But what the?
Right.
Like, they're conflicted.
One of the things my biggest influence really is Stan Lee and what he did with, and I love Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko as well, John Romita. What I think Stan brought was that humanity, and you can look at some of the creations of Kirby with and without Stan, and there's just, the relatability of a guy like Peter Parker. And I'm married to a Black woman. We have a daughter, and I didn't feel there were enough examples of these strong Black female characters. And even the ones that are, like Storm, she's kind of like a goddess. She was worshipped as a goddess before she was recruited by the X-Men.
Yeah.
And I wanted someone who felt like the gal down the street. I wanted Nikki St. Clair to be that cool person. Everybody wants to be her friend, or you are her friend, and she's just really, based on a lot of people through the theater experiences that I've had, sort of an amalgam of folks. So I'm glad that that's, hopefully coming through.
No, it really comes through that, like, if she didn't become who she is of TDP or TDK, she'd just be your girl next door, happy, bubbly, every now and again a little depressed because things might not be going the right way in the theater. But other than that, she's struggling, but she's just making it through. She has her friends and her family there by her side, which helps her through her daily routine. That's who she is. It really reads like that. And then there's this alter ego.
Yeah. And then she gets so entranced with that. And then there's this whole new education that comes from what is really going on in sort of the crime world, that there's a responsibility to kind of never go back to that simple life. But she also kind of just loves it. So,
right.
And they're all sort of struggling with, the Vaude-Villains are all struggling with this sort of identity. And one of the the thing about Punchline, I mean, hopefully equally so, his alter ego, Drayton Hayes, he's this troubled heavyweight boxer, and he was, came from East Cleveland, and he was trying to do everything the right way, working his way to the top. He became like the number 4 contender for the title of the heavyweight belt. And then one of his biggest fights, he was betrayed by people who were representing him. They poisoned his water. He got knocked out. and he then fails a drug test, which ruins his career because of what they put into his water. So the Vaude-Villains see this guy and they see the huge potential, and they know the history, and they're like, we can help you enact revenge on those who've wronged you, and look at how powerful you can become, because they have this example of,
oh my God, it's
her name was Elizabeth, but now she's Hurricane Lizzie, and a lot of
so
people. Yeah, I can show a picture of Lizzie, and we've got Lizzie fans too, which I'm so excited about. And I will definitely at some point be doing something with Lizzie here, the blue-faced woman. She's always in a straitjacket, but she gets out and then she ties knives to the end of the arms and she's whipping them around. And so,
have you ever seen that movie 13 Ghosts?
I haven't.
Okay, there's like this psycho, creepy looking thing that's just like, that's what she reminds me of. I can't remember the name of the ghost, but I'm just like, no.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
No, she creeps me. I gotta go.
Right.
I love her. I don't ever want to meet her.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want her peeking in your bedroom window at night, like checking on you.
Hi, Colton. She said
but
hi.
She's kind of got a sweet side too, so she's really, she's in love with Fletcher and he's in love with her, and it's a pretty gross, creepy relationship on a lot of levels. And everybody on the Vaude-Villains just sort of puts up with it. But, her backstory is she had cerebral palsy and he felt he could cure her. And that didn't quite go as planned, but they got it right with Punchline. And that was that's how they, and really Drayton Hayes, when they were presenting him this offer and he's seeing Lizzie kind of crushing cinder blocks with her hand, he just feels like this is the weirdest nightmare I've ever been in. Yeah, let's do it. So he kind of did it under some weird guise of being in a nightmare. And now he is this sort of super enhanced being, and it's left him a little bit unfulfilled. He's thinking this is how Punchline and the Vaude-Villains will begin. He's like, there's no challenges for me. He's in his own thought. I like these people, we're cool, but I want something more, and be careful what you wish for.
It's reminiscent of his actual boxing days, getting that opponent, being able to best somebody that might be better than you. And so, yeah, you totally can understand. Again, even when these people take their transformation, part of their humanity is still there. Part of who they were is still there. And it slowly seeps through these characters. But it's so well crafted the way how you do it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Look, I like what I like, and I know what I know. But you're welcome. And no, I find him fascinating. And it's kind of sad because, like you said, here's this guy. He's always trying to do the right thing, but no matter what he does, he's always getting shafted on something. Whether it's, they've tainted his water, he fails the drug test, there's this going on, he was on the wrong side of the tracks at the wrong time. And because of all these things, he's never going to get his title shot, and it really deflates him. And so here he is in this situation. We can give you all of this. I'm not sure this is real or not, so sure, let's do it. It's one hell of a nightmare, only to wake up and realize, okay, this was real. I can get my revenge, but now I'm still missing something because I missed the competition of my old days.
You got it, 100%, yeah. And in some way, he never wanted to go the steroid route, and now he's like ultimate steroids in a way, so that's also.
He took one punch, put a guy through a roof, he got stuck, and he hung himself.
Yeah, right. Yep. In fact, I'll show, let's see if I can find that moment. Issue 2. Oh, well, these things get shuffled as I go, so. Yeah, anyway, the book was kind of, when I first made him, I thought, I know exactly how he's going to be sort of introduced. There's going to be some mobster that looks at him and goes,
I got it.
Who are you? There it is. I got it.
Okay, cool.
Punchline, what are you, some kind of joke? But before he can even finish it, the guy gets hit into the ceiling, and then we get the
next
two-page.
page is phenomenal.
2-page spread. He's just hanging there, and we meet the whole crew, so. Yeah.
I actually think I can. Oh yeah, here. Let's check that.
Oh, you got the flat. Yes, that looks better.
Oh yeah. Let's bring that up full screen and let me bring it to this. And oh, look at it. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I just pulled up my thing.
Right
I was like,
yeah.
you're
So
like, I don't know where it is. I'm like, I do. Hold on.
So that's the posse. Yeah. And there's another guy, Uzi Clown. He's, the weapons specialist of the group. And we're going to introduce some new characters in this. So it's not just Apama. There's a supernatural threat that's really going to push Drayton beyond anything he ever imagined. I guess Apama's sort of supernatural too. Well, this is sort of a back from the dead supernatural.
Oh, good. Zombies. That's just what we need in 2020. Thanks.
Yeah. Not quite a zombie. But we already seem to have zombies.
Do we really need anything supernatural though in 2020?
No, yeah, well, I don't know.
Here's Ted showing you what to put on your bingo card. Got it.
Yeah.
So, of course, like we said, you do have this amazing Kickstarter out. I know we've been gushing over the comics, but there's a reason for that because you really want to be able to know the amazing stuff that's coming when you get this Kickstarter. And this is actually issue 1 of Punchline series.
Correct. And it's a direct continuation of Tap Dance Killer. So it's not like the Tap Dance Killer 6 would happen at this point. It's just going to be this new series. Nikki St. Clair, Tap Dance Killer, is in it as much as Punchline was in her series. So, but he's now the focus,
Okay. I really hope, and I'm sure you might have done this or at least thought of it. I hope you do another cover, kind of reversing the roles or making it even funnier from where she was doing her issue 1. And he's like, like maybe he has her by the head or something like my comic.
Right.
Like that. I don't know. It's your baby. This is how I feel about these characters, and this is what I see.
No, I like that. I will. Yeah, I mean, we were doing all kinds of variants. So yes, I think Turnabout will be fair play. I will consider this.
But what I also love is the fact that you have like all these really cool stretch goals where like people are going to be able to get like Tap Dance Killer Volume 1 hardcover. You've got this really cool Punchline t-shirt that I'm like totally digging. There you have this one where you have like this digital heavyweight. I think it's $44 where you get all these really cool comics. You get everything that ties everybody together.
Yeah, you get the whole run. We've done, let's see, 11 plus 5 plus 1. So 17 issues we've done so far. You get them all.
So I think it's really cool.
Thank
you. Again, as always, guys, when it comes to Kickstarters, we understand times are hard, especially what's going on in our society today. So even if you can't back the Kickstarter, you can always support it by sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just share it. Share it to a friend, family. Share it on social media. Somebody that may see it and they may be able to help the Kickstarter. Because even though a Kickstarter is funded, remember, they have these things called stretch goals. And everybody who backs a Kickstarter gets those stretch goals as they are released. And that's what a lot of people love.
Yeah, we're doing some cool things with some of our friends on this Kickstarter too. So at certain milestones and stretch goals, you will get instantly a digital comic of one of my colleagues, something of theirs that like an issue 1, and you'll be exposed to a lot of different really cool indie projects as well.
Oh yeah. And I think that's really cool that, you get to do these things and help out with other people. And there's other stretch goals. Matter of fact, I believe one of the people is Michael Watson, a friend of ours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's it's Hot Shot #1. You'll also, and that we just reached that stretch goal.
I think he's only following you because he wants to say that he was the influence of Punchline.
Oh, he did a chat and draw with Punchline several nights ago, and it's amazing. He just did it live, And I'm probably going to use it as a variant cover because I love it so much. It's a beautiful image.
He actually did one with one of our sponsors, Has the Productions, when they were doing their Roadkill Rampage.
Okay.
And they actually used the artwork that he did as their air fresheners.
Nice. Yeah, Michael is one of the nicest people you could ever meet. And in comics, I mean, I don't think there's anybody, the most enthusiastic man in comics, I think is his title. He wears that well.
He has to, because he can't get hardest working man. His buddy Victor took that.
Yeah, right.
And see, I know. So, funny little story with Mike. We were at Gym City last year, and Victor was like, Amanda, Mike never fills out his application to get his table next year. I was like, give me his application. And I took it. And I walked up to his table, and he's got people around his table, and he's just chit-chatting. I went, hey, you dumbass. And he just stops, and everybody stops. I was like, you need to fill this out. You need to fill this out now, or I swear to God, you're not coming back to my show. Like, in front of everybody has, all of a sudden, everybody's phones come out. They're recording it. He's like, yes, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am. Whatever you say. It was Victor almost pissed himself laughing so hard. And Mike's like, you're so mean. I was like, do you have a table for Gym City? Yeah, then I ain't that mean, am I? No? Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Have a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you got the friends who, when you say F you, it really means I love you. You know, those are really the best friends, you know.
And that's one of the things. I think that's really the reason that, I mean, I know money's involved with a lot of creators, but I think it's also that we have our families, but then we have our convention families. The people, hey, F you too. Aw, I miss you.
Right.
You know, it's really funny how a lot of us have become like we're an extended family to each other. And I think that's what a lot of us are really missing from the conventions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is. It's, and I know I talk to my creator colleagues all the time, and there's depression that sits in, you know, it's just like, you know, you're in your own little bubble working on stuff, and there's no shows, there's nowhere to put it out. You know, you can post something online, but you know, the way sometimes social media gets suppressed, who's even going to see it sometimes? So right. Yeah, we kind of talk quite a bit and try to keep everybody's chin up and staying focused on creating what's important to us. And we know at some point there's going to be a way to get
right
to our readers and hopefully expose our stories to people.
It's actually the first time it's like, man, I'm so glad that I have this podcast, not so I can spread people's stuff, but just so I can see my friends. It's like, I miss you.
Yeah, no, I it's true. It's true. I just, you can't overstate how much, you know, it means to be with people that you like and see them at every show and just, you know, there's a familyness to it, you know.
Yeah, there really is, but at least this didn't happen in the 80s or the 90s, and we're waiting for something like Dial-Up so we can see each other.
No, that would be
oh my God.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, just meet me in the chat room on AOL. Is that okay? Cool.
Oh, yeah, no, that is true. If it had to happen, it's good that it's at this time.
At the height of like a lot of technology going on,
Mm-hmm.
because
then again, it would have been at the height of technology whenever it happened.
Yeah, true,
but no, at least we got good streaming video and that kind of thing.
You kids don't know how well you have it, because we would have been in chat rooms going, hey, what's up? And this is before you had things like LOL. You just had AOL online, and you're just typing away. And
you want to see a video? It's that big. Oh, maximize video, that big.
You're trying to download something, and you're sitting here going, and then all of a sudden, someone like tries to use like the phone. Get off the phone! I'm downloading something. You can't use the phone when I'm on the computer.
Yes, it's a lost art.
Well, somebody thinks it's funny. It is though. It's so funny, and I love the fact that, you know, obviously we're older than a lot of like the kids who grew up with this stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, check this out. And the fact that we've learned as we move along, and I find that even though we've had to do this time, it's given us a lot of learning. Did you just put on glasses, or have I not been paying attention?
I just put them on.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, no, I didn't, I was looking at the comments, I was just, I realized, I can't read those. I need my readers.
I was just like, where'd the glasses come from? Is he trying to be Superman?
Every time you turn away, I'm
like, look, you know Superman. I love you, but you ain't no Superman. That ain't gonna work on me.
I don't think that would work on anybody.
Well, see, what I think people forget is it's more than just the glasses. You forget the little hair.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
That totally changes.
Oh, my God, where did Clark go?
Oh, my God. So, congratulations on the fact that it was completely funded in 24 hours and that you are working. I think you've unlocked at least one of your stretch goals, correct?
We have, and I have to update a couple more. So yes, we're cooking along. I think our goal was 3,750, and I think we're around 6,600.
Right, as you mentioned, you guys being older than others, he puts on his glasses. Yeah, you're at. It was 3,750, and you're at 6,658. 149 backers. Fantastic.
Hey, one away from 150. Who can get us to 150? Special digital reward if somebody does it on this podcast and types into the comments. How's that?
Ooh. Go to it. Go. You want to go right? That's the short version. Trust me, I copied it from there. You can copy the link address without the whole link address.
Oh, you copied it.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
You want to see how to do it? Here, I can show you how to do it. Hold on.
Is it in the comments?
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe mine's not refreshed or something.
No. This was before you even got on. I put it in the comments. Before you ever showed up, I put it in the comments.
Okay.
And then, of course, I'll also have the link in the description of the video as well. But you do know how to get the short version of your Kickstarter link, right?
No.
Okay. No. We're going to educate. Ready, guys?
Please. I'm on my site.
Okay. So you go to your Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And where people want to see where it says Facebook, Twitter, email, or this little thing here.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You there? There's your itty bitty little link right there.
It's the email link or the tiny. Oh, there it is. Haha. Well,
so there are all you people that have Kickstarters and you give me this extra long thing. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm not copying that. There's no way. No. That's how you get your itty bitty version of it.
I'll be.
Hey, you remember growing up, the more you know, now there needs to be a little star and the rainbow and the ting.
Very good. Well, I appreciate that.
No problem. So just a question. We haven't watched the video yet, have we?
No.
We should watch the video.
Totally watch the video. I spent a lot of time on that darn video.
Let's do it.
Punchline the Vaude-Villains is a series that changes on a dime from horror to superhero to comedy to supernatural. But all of that is grounded in its setting of modern day Cleveland. At the center of it all is Drayton Hayes, a.k.a. Punchline. He's a heavyweight boxer who was recruited by the Vaude-Villains back in Tap Dance Killer #1 and became a superpowered murderous clown assassin who really knows how to fight. And in fact, there weren't a lot of challenges for Punchline in our last series. That's all changing in this one. He's going to be going up against the main superhero in our universe, Apama, and a new nemesis from beyond the grave. Continuing the art with these characters is the immensely talented Donnie Hadiwijawa. His work is extremely dynamic, and he has a perfect sense of humor and horror that blends magically with the Vaude-Villains. I'm a lifelong comic book collector, especially classic Marvel stuff. And with Hero Tomorrow Comics, we wanted to create a world that was contemporary, but also told in that classic Bronze Age style. I was set up next to the great Jim Shooter at a comic convention. And I said, hey, man, I'd really like to get your take on our stuff. He said, I'll take a look at it, but I got to warn you, I'm going to be honest. About a month later, he sent me a note that said, you can use this quote, "Tap Dance Killer is like finding water in the desert." We've had over 75 written reviews about our work. And if there was like a Rotten Tomatoes that compiled comic book reviews, we'd be close to 100%. And then there's this lady.
This is for the Tap Dance Killer. This is the finest bitch in the game. If you are not fucking with the Tap Dance Killer, you are not a comic fan. Get up!
Hero Tomorrow Comics relied heavily on comic book convention sales. And while we've stayed active behind the scenes producing new work, we decided to hold back all releases until conventions started happening again. So with all of us sitting at home with no cons, I decided to turn to Kickstarter to grow this project. At the same time, we're offering a killer slam dunk get on board deal for the entire Hero Tomorrow Comics catalog, or paired with just Tap Dance Killer Volume 1. There's visual representations of all the rewards if you scroll down on this page. The art is already done. I expect to have these out a month or sooner after the campaign ends. Thank you so much for checking out the campaign. Please reserve a reward that looks best for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. In the meantime, stay safe, healthy, and I will talk to you soon.
That was the greatest thing I've ever seen. The music alone sells it.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just saying. And here's the thing is I love showing people's videos of their Kickstarters. I don't know. There's just something about it just gives just that little bit more information that sometimes I can't pry out of somebody.
But I believe you pried everything out of me prior. Just so kudos to you, because I was watching it thinking, yep, we talked about that.
Yep. I just love that. And then I had this idea. Ding. I should have used that for the promotion. I'm going to be on AGP. I'm going to use that next. I am taking that picture. I'm going to get that as a picture. I'm taking it and I'm using that the next time you're on this show.
I will. Yeah, I'll provide you the sound effect.
I'm going to put ping. I, Ted Sikora, will be on AGP.
I know what I need to do. I need to be on Amanda's show.
There you go. Oh my gosh. But no, who edited your video? Did you do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my background was film. You know, I did film. Actually, I told you about the band. I told you about the musical. My brother and I had a recording studio in our house. We were doing, audio for a long time. And then I started doing film. So I've had this weird, spinny, snaky path through all kinds of careers. But comics and film, I do a lot of documentary work. That's really
I have
remote.
no money, but do you want to be my editor? I could pay you an ibuprofen. I have a
Oh my gosh, no! Editing is like my least favorite anymore. I do a lot of shooting for people, and editing just takes so long, and I don't have the time. It's. I hope none of my clients are watching this.
Hey, the worst is when you have to edit yourself.
Oh, well, I tell you, what I do is I don't write a script for these things anymore. I used to kind of plan it all out. I just sort of put the camera up and I do a couple sentences at a time until I feel like I delivered one right. And that way I feel like there's something spontaneous about it. And then I just go through and find the right takes, put them all together. And I don't know, for better or worse, it seems to be getting me where I need to be.
I just don't like the way that I sound, so editing anything that has my voice in it.
You've got a great voice. You could do like cartoon voices too, I think. Has anyone ever told you that?
Because I sound like a squirrel on crack.
But that's a saleable skill. But you got a voice that cuts through too. I mean, I was in commercial audio recording for 10 years. Like I know a good commercial sounding voice when I hear it, and you've got that.
Listen, everybody, I have the voice. Not only I could get the looks. No.
You know what? Just put it out there. You are, and you're doing great.
The funniest thing to date is I just finished editing the audio of the Fortnite that we were doing, and they just started their Halloween thing. And when you die and you come back as a shadow, it distorts your voice, and I'm like, that is the creepiest thing I've ever sounded like ever. And I mean ever, like distorted chipmunk voice.
Oh, I can. You should have. Did you TikTok that or something?
No, it's up on it's on Twitch, and it's going to be released on YouTube in the next couple of days.
All right.
But oh my gosh! But thank you. It's the first. I'm going to be honest. That's the first time anybody actually complimented my voice, because normally I get, "How old are you, son?" Well, I'm a 41-year-old adult woman, so there's that. Or chipmunk on crack, which has been like the running gag forever. It's like, you just need to play chipmunk. Okay.
Well, like I said, character voices are, one of the things about COVID is voice actors are still doing pretty good with animation, because that's still going.
I'll be right here if you need me.
You put a demo together, get some script dialogue kind of things laid down on tape, see what
now I'm actually wondering what it does sound like when I'm running around trying to kill my friends in this game called Dead by Daylight, and I play the doctor, and I'm running around going, I fix you. No, you're not fixing. I fix.
That's
I wonder what it really sounds like.
Yeah,
you do hear yourself different than what everybody else hears you. You just do. It always has been that way. And I will. Do you remember the first time you ever heard your own voice?
I had a little tape recorder unit, and yeah, it didn't sound right to me.
First time was when we were watching old videos, and I'm just like, I sound like that? Are you kidding me? I've been acting and doing shows for this long, and none of you people told me that I sounded like that? What the hell?
My wife and daughter tell me, oh, he's in his voiceover mode when they hear me doing this stuff. Like, hey, Punchline the Vaude-Villains is a new series by Hero Tomorrow Comics.
Don't worry, I have one too, and you'll hear it here at the end. So
okay.
Because everyone's like, do you have a script you read from when you do your ending? I go, nope. I just say it way too much.
There you go.
But I'm excited for this thing. So I'm going to bring this back up real quickly, because I would like to show off the Kickstarter a little bit for you, so everybody can see it. So we're going to make this the main screen, and we're just going to go through and show off some of the really cool things.
The cover. There's
the cover. A little bit of the things that we've already kind of talked about, things that are going. Now, I do love the fact that you do not need to have the knowledge of any of your previous stories to still understand this comic.
Yes.
That's very important, because a lot of people will be like, yeah, but a lot of people, again, we understand times are tough. So I appreciate this, because a lot of times when you go to a Kickstarter, you're like, I have no idea what's going on here. Why am I here? I have to get this $150,000 pledge to understand what's going on in the story. Nope. Even though they're all connected, all of your comics, you don't need the other comics to know what's going on, as long as you're within the series.
Yes. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from, Jim Salicrup, who was the editor on Amazing Spider-Man during Todd McFarlane's years, and he was looking at our stuff and gave me a really nice critique. And he said, the old adage, every comic is somebody's first comic. Every issue is somebody's first comic. And you always have to give somebody an on-ramp with every issue, even issue 2 or issue 3. So it's something we're very cognizant of. And we try to. And there's my daughter.
That's your daughter. She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she was the one who actually came up with the title of this book, because I was struggling with it. I was like, is it the Vaude-Villains? Is it just Punchline? Punchline the Vaude-Villain. I had it as that, and she comes in and goes, "Do not call it that, Dad." Like, all right, what should I call it? And she looks at it for, honestly, 7 seconds, and she goes, Punchline and the Vaude-Villains. I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what the book is. Yeah.
There's Donnie.
Yep.
Donnie, I appreciate you. You're an amazing.
And how do you pronounce his last name?
Not gonna try it.
Come on.
Hadawada Jaja.
You were not close at all. Hadi Wijawa.
Hadi
Wijawa. Yep.
How did I not remember Jawa?
Right. I know that.
What the hell is the matter with me?
If you can get through the first 8 syllables, I mean, you get to Jawa. Yeah.
Look, I know how to remember his name. Hadi we need Jawas.
Hadi we.
Right, Hadi we. But just try to remember Hati Hottie, but it's Hadi Hadi. We WE Jawa.
Yes, Hadi we Jawa. Yes. And he is so awesome to work with. Extremely talented. He's just a machine. I love the guy.
Hey, Donnie, what do I need to get that Rogue figure behind you?
Yeah, well, he's got quite the collection.
I really love that Rogue figure. She's my favorite. And then, of course, here's some of the work. There's that creepy lady.
Lizzie, Hurricane Lizzie. So this actually is an explanation of why this is an easy entry point specifically. That's Nikki's dad, if you scroll back up a little bit, in the chair. And they had to kidnap him to get him into the Vaude-Villains' lair so she could talk to him, because they have the mother too. And she introduces him to everybody right at the rip and gives them a lowdown, but also all the readers who are new to the series get the same kind of lowdown introduction.
Oh, look, keeping it in the family with the baby.
Yep.
Here's some more of that amazing artwork.
There's our Apama character.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's Ilya. There's Regina.
And I just love all this. I mean, it's just amazing. Our favorite new superhero story. I want that shirt. Just saying.
I will hook you up.
Oh, that's my boy. Of course, eventually you're going to have to do a shirt for her if you haven't.
Oh, we have a shirt for her.
Oh, do we?
It's you can actually add it on. So new with Kickstarter as of like this last few weeks is add-ons. So if you see something, a reward you like, but it doesn't have the shirt, when you go to check out, you can add the shirt, or you can add whatever we've chosen as add-on. So almost everything is available as an add-on, and including the Apama shirt, the Tap Dance Killer shirt.
Nice. I'll have to see that Tap Dance Killer shirt, because I'm sorry, that's my new girl. Like,
all right, well,
I'm sorry.
Whatever you want, you'll have it.
Whatever.
And did you see my Mysterio back here?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna probably break him. No, this is the Bowens statue. Like I'm a Mysterio fan from way back. So I've had this thing for, I don't know, 10 years. When he was brought into the Spider-Man movie, I was absolutely freaking thrilled.
I'm sure you were.
Look at that. Look at the design. Anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now, if somebody could please give me a really good depiction of my baby from the Marvel Universe, Dr. Doom, that'd be great.
Oh, there's Bowen. Look up Bowen statue, Dr. Doom.
No, I'm just talking about a movie version that I could actually be proud of.
Oh my gosh, he should have his own movie, and it should be the whole sort of Roma background and
oh God, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it would be.
You got this guy. He has his own country with a 98% approval rating, might I say, from his citizens.
Yeah.
He has diplomatic immunity. There's the whole God story arc of his where he goes all white and stuff. Hell, just his manipulative behavior when the X-Men went in to go, I can't remember who they went in to free, but he was actually there as a guest. He has this dinner with Storm, knowing that she's there trying to manipulate him so the rest of the X-Men can free this guy. And he's like, nah, I'm sorry. Boom. And I'm just like, that's my husband.
I didn't read that one. Yeah, I was really a Spider-Man guy, so I know almost everything about Spidey. And Moon Knight, I like Moon Knight a lot too. And I have this to show as well. This is something a fan did.
Ooh.
Isn't that cool?
Wow, that is awesome.
I know. I was just like blown away.
Yeah, the storyline. Oh my gosh, which one is it? It's a really old one. I mean, when I say old, like 1980s, I think it was. And you all can correct me. I think it was Uncanny X-Men 145.
Oh yes, he's holding Storm on the cover, like unconscious.
Yeah, she's unconscious. That's because So it's from that storyline.
All right, I haven't read. I have that issue, but it's been a long ass time since I read it.
Like I said, I can't remember all the details. I just remember the whole Storm goes in and is like, "Oh, I got this. He's just a guy. I got this. I'm a goddess. I got this." No, you don't. No.
Yeah.
You ain't got
nothing. I think Doom needs to be Darth Vader's daddy when they do it right, because that's what he was.
It's funny because he's such a complex character. Everybody's like, "Oh, what does he look like under the mask?" He's actually really hot. The reason why he wears the mask is because he's really very prim and proper and a perfectionist, and he has one scar on his face which he thinks has defiled his whole face, so he put the mask on.
Is that true? When did that come about?
That was original.
Well, I know they talked about that. I know, that there was they were always discussing what he looked like under the mask, but have they ever really shown it ever?
I think it was hold on. Dr. Doom and Scarlet Witch. I think they showed it in there. Did they show that in there? I can't remember. I know. Maybe I can't remember. Yes, they have. Because boom. And let me do this. Screen share screen, Chrome tab. Is it this one? Yeah, there's his face.
Huh. Well, that is interesting. I thought they were going back and forth on it, and I haven't followed the character as much.
Because that's during the whole Doom and Scarlet Witch, and something about her trying to become a god. They're actually having a relationship together, and then things go awry. Because her mind's completely wiped. They're scheduled to get married. I can't remember the whole storyline. Something happens and he takes the god powers. He's like, "Look at me." Okay, I'll look at you. But I've always loved the character because how many characters go, "Your superpower"? I have diplomatic immunity.
Yeah. Right.
Great.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
He is, but he has that background of he knows magic, but he fuses magic with technology.
With
which
science. I agree.
I don't understand people not doing that.
Yeah. No, he's perfect as a villain.
No, he's always been my favorite. So again, amazing work on your comics.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And of course, everybody, if you want to learn more about this amazing guy right here, he's everywhere. And he's got like 2 links for everything. So you can find him over on Twitter, the main comics of everything, where it's Hero Tomorrow, because that is your comic book publisher company. Right. That's the name of the comic book publishing company. Hero Tomorrow, where you can find all of his comics, except for the one that's on Kickstarter right now, because that's new. You can also find him on Twitter under him, Ted Sikora. Again, everything's pretty much the same. So you can go again, Facebook, Ted.Sikora, Facebook, Hero Tomorrow, Instagram, same thing, and Instagram, same thing. And the website to go start buying some stuff, because you want to, is www.herotomorrow.com. But of course, the most important thing right now is we're talking about that Kickstarter. And if you need help with the Kickstarter, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can always just type in Punchline and I'm sure you could just type in Punchline
Punchline
and the
will come up.
Vaude-Villains. Or you could type in Ted Sikora and it'll pop up under his name as well.
True that.
And remember, we understand if you can't support it by money things, but please share it. It would be amazing if you can at least share it. But remember, there are ways to support it. That you can choose an amount, which is just $1. $1 takes them every step closer to unlocking something else for everybody. They have a $6 one where you can get the PDF. $6, you get a PDF. That means you could take this comic anywhere you go. And that one actually allows you to be able to get the reward tier. So it's a win-win for you guys. So let's see it happen. On that note, thank you so much, Ted. I've missed you so much.
Likewise. Thank you. Thank you. Great to see you again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And for those of you who want to know more about AGP, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, and excuse me, and Facebook. Everything is Amanda Gilliam Presents except for Twitter, which is Amanda G Presents. Remember, Gilliam is spelled like William, but with a G instead of a W. You can also check out all of our edited videos over on YouTube, which is Amanda Gilliam Presents. But all of our live streaming and all exclusive content comes right here to Twitch. So make sure that you're following or subscribing. Remember, subscribers, they get free badges, they get free emotes, and they get to watch this content ad-free. On top of that, again, we understand that times are hard. So remember, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe absolutely free. All you do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they come right here to AGP, subscribe. We're still able to get paid so we can make great content and introduce you to more great creators, and you don't pay an extra dime. On that note, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Ted. Thank you to all of you in the chat. You're an amazing community, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye.